Legacy is something that is prevalent in all forms of media lately, whether that be a reimagining of a past season of a show, a simple anniversary season, with aesthetics calling back to past seasons, mechs, items, whatever, or even a movie bringing back a bunch of past villains and two actors who previously portrayed the same title character. Oh my god, No Way Home was amazing. I love Spider-Man. No Way Home. Oh hey, didn't see you there. Digital Jacob here. Didn't mean for the spoilers. I'm sorry. You should have seen the movie by now. Anywho, as if you couldn't tell by my set dressing, I just threw this guy here and I put Once a Ranger on the board along with some other stuff that's not important. If you can tell, when it comes to talking about anniversaries, or legacies even, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Power Rangers franchise. I love Power Rangers. Maybe since I was, even conscious I love Power Rangers. I don't know. I adore Power Rangers a lot. But Power Rangers is almost 30 years old. It's 30 years old next year, which frankly to me is mind-blowing. And to be honest with you, I have been longing for my childhood to come back to me, being a 20-year-old still talking about Power Rangers in his mom's basement. I'm on the verge of getting to the stereotype. So great. And if you would look at the date that is underneath this video, hopefully I posted this in time. If not, damn it, Jacob. It is the 15th anniversary of Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. A season that, as a child, I loved, and as a now adult, I still love to a degree. And I honestly heavily associate this season with my childhood and Power Rangers in general. I don't associate, when I think of the designs, the suits, these things, the other ones over there, I'm not getting it, I don't feel like it. But, I don't think of Bokendra, I think of Operation Overdrive first. And, I don't know, I miss it. It brings me back to a simpler time when there wasn't, all this drama comparing PR to Sentai. Which you can do if you really want to. It's one's a red apple, one's a green apple. They taste different, but at the end of the day, they're still apples. And I legitimately think that's a perfect analogy. Because at the root of them is the same thing, which is Sentai, but Sentai is Sentai, and Power Rangers is Power Rangers, adapting Sentai, doing its own thing. And you compare those two things, sure. But at the end of the day, they're the same thing, pretty much. And I still love Power Rangers, even though I probably prefer Sentai nowadays. But anyways, back to the point. When I was watching Operation Overdrive, I didn't know Sentai existed. I didn't even know where Power Rangers aired. So, am I slouching? No, this is the intense Digital Jacob view. But, it's I didn't even know Sentai existed. I didn't even know where Power Rangers aired. I would just watch the same clips over and over again on YouTube. Shitty YouTube. 480p YouTube. Which, by the way, is the first way I found Operation Overdrive for this video to watch it again was in 480p. With JetX, watermarks and everything. It was pretty funny, actually. Remember JetX? I don't. I never watched it. But, to celebrate this, honestly, emotional occasion for me, because, I don't know, 15 years of Operation Overdrive doesn't seem... It's weird, because it's the 15th anniversary, but it's 15 years old! Mental! I decided I'm going to take a look at two of my favorite episodes in Power Rangers history. The 2-part anniversary special, Once a Ranger. Now, I've decided to go in a slight different direction with this video. Instead of my usual, summarizing the plot and little jokes here and there, I kind of want to focus on how Operation Overdrive and Once a Ranger more so handles being an anniversary special. Because back in these days, like, this is before Decade. Decade really was the anniversary boom, I would say. I mean, I don't know when Maybe's came out. Maybe's was like a big anniversary season. I'll put the date here if I remember. Jacob, while you're writing this, please remember to put that date. Ultraman movies. We'll get into Ultraman a little bit later. They connect in a way to me. Whatever. Ramble? What? Shut up. How Once a Ranger handles being an anniversary season. And, you know, as I was saying, back in these days, we never got seasons that were just about the anniversary. We would get movies. These team-ups, Forever Red comes to mind. I don't know, what did Ryder have? Ryder didn't really do this kind of stuff, I would say. Kabuto kind of. Kabuto was the 35th. It aired the year previous to this. But it didn't really do anything in terms of anniversary. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Kamen Rider had anything before Decade. Decade was kind of the big, like, everything boom, I would say. But, because Decade led to Gokaiger led to whatever. But it was usually just, as I said, single episode. Forever Red comes to mind. Or a movie, the Bokenger movie, for instance. The Gower Ranger movie, even. Like, all these were just movies. They weren't, like, movies are, like, special episodes. They weren't, like, a direct part of, like, the season's inherent identity, I would say. I lost my train of thought. The point is, different style of the video. Now I'm rambling. I lost my train of thought because I'm going off the script. I read the scripts while I do these, yeah. But yeah, let's get right into What's a Ranger. But I look at how it's an anniversary special first and foremost. Let's go. I feel like this could have been like all before I did the opening Digital Jacob joke, but whatever. Now, I'm not going to go over the plot too heavy because I hope you've already seen this episode. Because that'll take up like most of the video and I'll lose my entire point of making this video. So, my hope is you already know what happens in this episode. If not, go watch the episode. Oh wait, you can't, because Hasbro took them all off Netflix. And hasn't uploaded Operation Overdrive to their YouTube channel. They probably won't for a bit, because the fandom at large doesn't like Operation Overdrive, and still doesn't, even though it's been 15 years! We're back! Okay, now, not gonna go over the plot, as I explained in my little thing I had going on there. I think the biggest thing this episode does, maybe Operation Overdrive as a whole does, to be an anniversary season, is the introduction and subsequent destruction. Not like they destroy the character, but like he gets blown up at the end. But the introduction of Rita and Zed's son, Thrax, almost messed up there. I think I did actually, but I digress. Honestly, my opinion, Thrax is a pretty dope concept. I would say execution-wise, it's up to your personal opinion, but this whole thing is personal opinion, because people even just hate this episode because of like Alpha's voice, whatever. I think he's neat. I mean, the design, take or leave it. I mean, I don't know what I would expect. I don't know what you would expect either for the son of Rita and Zed, but yeah, I'm not sure what that would look like if designed by anyone else. But design-wise and character-wise, I think he's kind of interesting. Because there's sort of like this little inkling there that... Not inkling, he kind of like directly says it when he summons all the Operation Overdrive villains to his like lair thing. I don't know what it is. It is his lair.
There's only one thing standing in your way of finding the jewels of the Corona Aurora. The Power Rangers! Yes!
But, his goal is just to destroy the Power Rangers and everything they stand for. And it's kind of cool that you get this inkling that he obviously knows much more about the Power Rangers, how they work, because of his parents, and cares much more about the Power Rangers because of his parents, because, like, Mighty Morphin, like, the Rangers just, like, there was no other goal. It was just to beat Rita and Zed. Like, that was the goal of the seasons, rather. But, he doesn't even, like, bother caring about getting the Corona Aurora. I don't even know if I can say that still. Which is weird. I'm just gonna call it the crown. He doesn't even bother, like, to consider assembling the crown for himself and beat the Rangers. No, he just wants to beat the Rangers and just get rid of them entirely. Like, get them off the board. I was gonna say the grid. Speaking of the grid, that's very interesting to me that he knows about the morphing grid when none of these other villains do. So that kind of leads into the idea that he obviously would know much more about the Rangers due to his history and his parentage than any of these other villains would. Because when you think about it, they've never had to fight Power Rangers before until this season. Like, Moltor and Furious, right? Why am I, like, talking to you like you're here? But, Moltor and Furious were just fighting themselves, and, like, all the other Gem Hunters? Jewel Hunters. I think they're Jewel Hunters. All the other, like, Jewel Hunters were just, like, not created now, but, like, they're in the present. They were in the past. They haven't been doing this for years like them two have. So, I think that's kind of cool that he's, like, kind of not really a Ranger expert. I know it's not said, but, like, you kind of get the idea when you think about it in a way that he is an expert on Power Rangers due to, you know, who he is. So I think that's very cool, and I think that's a nice, like, tie-in to, like, them actually using the lore. I also like the neat little Easter egg of him getting trapped in the dumpster like his mother. I just like saying Spanish words. But, I don't know, I think he's neat. I like him. I don't think he's great, but I'd love to see him come back. I know he came back in Hyperforce, but they canceled Hyperforce for no good reason. I'm still upset. A lot. Okay, back to Once a Ranger, because I love Once a Ranger. And then, of course, there's the second biggest anniversary thing that this episode does. And that, of course, is the return and introduction of one of my favorite teams of Power Rangers, the Retro Rangers. So, I'll play the clip, because I adore the clip of them all showing up for the first time, so enjoy. If it doesn't get copyrighted, if it does get copyrighted, I don't care. What are they gonna do, strike me again, TOEI? Ha
Meg! Who are you?
Surprise! Hello.
It's great to be back. Let the games begin.
Looks like you guys could use a little help.
Oh, you're back. Okay, Retro Rangers. If you follow me on Twitter, at GuySold, by the way, drop a follow or go over there to get a follow. I messed up. I don't like doing retakes. Follow me on Twitter, at GuySold. And I'm almost at 2,000, so it'd be really cool if you could follow me. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I don't know how many percentage of you aren't subscribed, but I'm sure it's a lot. So, watch the video. Or subscribe, rather. I don't care if you watch the video. Subscribe, because I like seeing the number go up. I digress. If you follow me on Twitter, you would know that I am obsessed with the Retro Rangers, to the point where I almost bring it up, like, on a bi-monthly basis, that I love the Retro Rangers and I love this team up so much. I love all the characters they brought back. I love all the seasons that are involved. Like, I love Ninja Storm. I adore Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder might be my favorite season. Like, I haven't, like, ranked them in a while, but, like, Dino Thunder might be my favorite season. I don't, like, love SPD as much as everyone else, but I love the characters. I really love the characters. I love Bridge. Well, I'll get into Bridge a little bit later. But I love Mystic Force. I grew up on Mystic Force. Like, all I would watch as a kid were the 2 Mystic Force DVDs I had. Like, so much so that, like, my sister knows Mystic Force. My sister doesn't give 2 shits about Power Rangers, but she knows Mystic Force. Which I find really funny. But, I love the interactions they have. I think they have very good interactions with each other and with the I don't like saying OO. With the Overdrive cast. With what little interactions they have. I'll get into that a little bit later. This is like in order, but I kind of go like off the script too. But, I like have it here so I can read it, but also like talk to you. God, I really go off topic in these videos, don't I? I think it's because, like, I want to, like, be, like, a bit more... Why am I still holding him? What was I talking about? I love Adam. I love Johnny Young Bosch. I think he's an amazing human being. If you know anything about me or this channel, or, like, the one thing I did of it, you know that I love Bleach. And Bleach is my favorite anime. Like, I cared about Johnny Young Bosch before I knew he was Ichigo. Like... I just love this guy. He's Lelouch. I love Code Geass. Johnny Young Bosch is just an amazing human being to me. And the fact that he's like one of, if not my favorite Power Rangers character is just, I love him. I love him to death. I would cry if I met him. I really would. But, he's just great. He's great. He's great in this episode. It's like, this episode's one of the main reasons why he's one of my favorite characters. Like, I love his personality in this episode. I love how he feels like that like, experienced Ranger. He's done it all to a degree. I'm not saying he's done everything, but, like, he's done it all. He's seen it all. He's like, he has all these other Rangers in this team up have civilian powers to a degree. You know, Tori's a ninja, whatever, right? Bridge kind of just waves the hand thing, and Xander doesn't magic. I don't know if that really counts. But, like, they all have powers, whatever, outside the suits. But Adam doesn't. He's just out there throwing fists with the chillers or whatever they're called. And it's great. It's great to me. And, like, I guess I didn't mention this in the script, but I love that he gets to wear the Defender vest. He gets to pilot the Flashpoint Megazord by himself. He gets to ride the stupid hover bike, whatever it's called. The hover cycle, I think. But I love that. Like, it's cool seeing a past Ranger use all these modern teams' powers and Zords and abilities, whatever you want to call them. I think that's really cool. Like, we kind of saw that again in Beast Morphers, but they just, like, it didn't make sense. It was a Ranger vault that had all this random stuff in it that didn't get explained, which I found really annoying. But I'm really going off topic about it. The point is, I love that he's in this. And, like, I love that Johnny Young Bosch cared enough to make, like, up a better backstory than him just running a dojo in Angel Grove. Which I don't mind. I think that's a perfectly fine backstory. I think that's what Adam would be doing. But Johnny's idea of, like, Adam being this secret agent who fixed his morpher by himself is just... I don't know, it's cool. It's cool that he cares that much. I don't know. But yeah, on to the other characters in this episode. Now, I don't have figures for Tori and Kira, which makes me very upset, but these are the only other two. I have Operation Overdrive figures. I don't know where they are. But I love the fact, I love seeing these characters after their season's already over. I love seeing that Bridge is now the Red Ranger. Not saying he's Red Ranger material or anything. He kind of is. I guess he has to be if he's picked. But I digress there. It's cool that he's the Red Ranger now, honestly. And I love that they do a little bit of SPD world building with Kruger now being head of SPD and Sky's now head of the Earth branch. And, like, him being the Red Ranger isn't a one-off thing. They brought it back in the comics. Like, it's not a main focal point, but he's there. He's the Red Ranger there still, and it's cool. And Sky has his own Ranger form. It's like Deca Ranger or something. It is Deca Ranger. I know that for a fact, because I remember these things. But, like, it's cool that they continue the story of these seasons a little bit. Like, Xander doesn't get to do much in this episode, I would say. But he's there when he's there. And it's really happy that he's there. Like, he does the whole Plan Xander thing, which is one of the funniest jokes in Power Rangers, I would say. Like, it's kind of a running joke, honestly, but not really. Well, I guess it is. But it's cool that he's there. He doesn't get as much, like, not past stuff, like, catching up as the other Rangers do a little bit. Tori and Kira don't get as much a little bit. It's kind of hard to... It's kind of like what you want to judge with them. Xander doesn't really get anything at all in comparison to Adam, Bridge, or the other two. Tori and Kira... that shut off again. I'll just leave it off. Whatever. You know, Kira talks about doing a new CD. And she also talks to Adam about Tommy, which I find cool. Because that's like... Of course, Tommy's going to get a shout-out in the 15th anniversary. Like, he carried the franchise, basically. And if you hate on Tommy, I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of Tori, like, we catch up with her at the end of the 2 episodes, and, like, she's doing custom surfboards now. Sure, that's not a lot, but it's still something. It's nice to hear. It's cool. It's cool getting these little details. But, another big detail that I adore... Actually, this will be a separate bit. I think. Hopefully. I don't know. One of my favorite things that this episode does is they bring back the theme songs in every single past Ranger fight. Like, every time they do something, they play the theme song. Not everything. There's one fight where they don't play them. But the fact that, like, as soon as they show up, you hear the when Tori shows up. Kira, I'm a fake fan. And, like, when Xander shows up, they do the little, like, bit before the Mystic Force intro starts, and, like, it's kind of neat. And, like, in the final, like, fight of the team up, they play the SPD theme song throughout the entire final bit. Like, they don't switch to, like, the Overdrive theme song when Taizon's on the screen. Like, it keeps going, which I find very funny, because it's like, well, Ron Wasserman wrote this one. We better keep it going because he wrote the first song. I don't know. Speaking of the first song, probably the worst aspect of this team up, in my opinion, is that they didn't get the rights to Go-Go Power Rangers, which I guess in a way is a fault. Disney didn't care enough to pay for it, but at the same time, Disney didn't care about Power Rangers at all, so it's kind of a miracle this season was even made, and any other seasons after it. But the music they do play for Adam, honestly, it's not that bad. Like, I think it's fine. Maybe it's nostalgia talking, and it's Adam bias, of course, but I think it's fine. It's music. It's kind of fitting. Fitting, like, in a way that, like, I associate the music with Adam now. And it's kind of neat to me that he's one of the only Rangers who gets, like, his own theme. Not like Tommy levels, where he has, like, 2 or 3 or something. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, right? I don't know why I'm posing these. Why is he, like, behind me? I don't know. He's probably not going to see. I don't know. But, what was I saying? The songs. I really love that the songs are there. I think that's an important part. And you look at team-ups after this with, like... Look at something like Legendary Battle. They didn't play any of the theme song there. They didn't even play the show's, like, own theme song during their big final fight, which would have been great. Or even, like, the Beast Morphers team-up, they didn't play any of the songs, even though they should have the rights to Dino Thunder. They should definitely have the rights to the Dino Sharks theme song. And they should definitely, at this point, have the rights to the Mighty Morphin theme song. I don't know, it bugged me. And then, like... I'm kind of going backwards here, but Super Ninja Steel, they had to make their own rendition of Go-Go Power Rangers, which is cool. They at least made it, but they didn't play anything else. I don't know. I think the theme songs are super important. It pains me that they're only 30 seconds now. I mean, time of writing this, the executive producer, I think he is, head writer, I don't know what he is, for Dino Fury came out on Twitter and said they're 30 seconds now because of commercials, and that's the norm now, which upsets me very much so. And it's like, you're on Netflix now. You can go longer. Like, Daredevil has a 1-minute intro, and that's an hour show. I get it's an hour show, but still, you can go any length now because you're on Netflix. Any length. Pause. One of the biggest complaints lobbied against this special team-up, whatever you want to call it, is the lack of interactions between the past Rangers and the Operation Overdrive team. Which, honestly, fair complaint. I would have loved to see more. I think one of the writers even came out and said they should have did more. They should have written more. And another complaint relating, I didn't write this down because I don't agree with it, but another complaint that a lot of people say is the Overdrive Rangers are kind of dicks for just quitting. And it's like, if you lost your powers, wouldn't you quit too? If, like, there's another team already doing your job. Not saying you're wrong for thinking they're losers. I mean, giving up. I give up a lot, so I agree with their giving up. I digress. I'm saying that a lot this video. Honestly, though, I think both of those complaints are just more of a fault of how they set up the episode. Because Once a Ranger episode 1 just opens with them fighting Camdor and Miratrix. That's their name, right? Yes. And a monster just to get a ruby. And, like, then the entire, like, rest of the episode is, like, set up for Thrax. Then Thrax shows up. And then he beats the Rangers, cuts them off from the morphing grid. And then they have, like, a little bit there where they're talking about, oh, we need to find the jewels, guys. And then the Rangers are like, we can't morph. Then Hartford's like, you guys can morph. Not morph. You guys can use your civilian powers, whatever. Then they get bodied by Camdor and one of the Fear Cats in Stonehenge. Then the past Rangers show up, like, with 7 minutes left in the episode. And then, honestly, the second episode's pretty good. But there's no, like, break. Not, like, break. There's no time for the past Rangers and them to interact because of how they set up the first episode. Honestly, they should have taken a page out of the Beast Morphers book. I know Beast Morphers wasn't out by here. Then, rather? But, whatever. They should have set up Thrax earlier in the season, or even the previous episode, like a Stinger cameo or something like that. It's weird to think about. Wow, Operation Overdrive was before Iron Man. That's actually kind of crazy, honestly. But, you get my point. It's just, I don't know. I think they should have set Thrax up in a previous episode. I don't know what episode. For the purposes of this video, I only watched Once a Ranger again. Just to, you know, because I know the episode, but I needed to know it more. And I like watching it. But I think that's definitely what they should have did. Set Thrax up in a previous episode, then have him do the whole send the little invitations out. I guess you still have to set Thrax up to the villains. I don't know. Maybe do the sending the invitations out at the end of the previous episode. I don't know. But I think that's the only way you can get more past interactions, or interactions with the past Rangers in the current team, is to you set up Thrax in a previous episode, then you get the whole first part of the team up where the past Rangers show up, then they interact or whatever. Sorry, my recording got cut off. I don't know why exactly, but as I was saying, they should have set Thrax up earlier in the season, like an episode or two before Once a Ranger, so they didn't have to do all the setup in Once a Ranger. But I also understand they probably just didn't feel like doing it. They were probably time crunched. I don't know, but I mean, that's a fix. Set him up earlier. That way, we get more interactions with the past Rangers. I don't know if I'm repeating myself or not, but you get what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get to the next point because I've been stuck trying to record this bit for like an hour and it hasn't come out good. So, yeah, on to the next point and the last few points of this little video. Now, these episodes to me these kinds of episodes rather, are one of the main reasons I prefer PR's implementation of Legacy over Sentai or Rider. Rider and Sentai kind of just feel like, and PR nowadays, I guess, just kind of feel like, hey, remember this thing, But I don't know, back in back in these kind of days, it kind of felt special, you know? Because it wasn't like we were overwhelmed with anniversary stuff like we are. And I'm an anniversary guy, as you can tell. I mean, I love this episode. It's an anniversary episode. I love Kamen Rider Geo. But, it's like, I don't know. I think they do a much better job nowadays if, or not nowadays, back then, because it wasn't so much anniversary. And, I don't know, I think it's just implemented better. And it reminds me of Ultraman. Ultraman is really good about implementing legacy stuff. As I mentioned at the top of this video, Ultraman Trigger is an entire reimagined version of Ultraman Tiga. And say what you want about the quality of the show, it's kind of impressive that they did that. Like, it's kind of impressive that they're like, alright, it's this certain show's anniversary. Let's base our entire show for this year of toys, we're putting a lot of money into this, around that show. And it paid off. I mean, Trigger's the highest selling Ultraman season to my knowledge. And it's also like, you can do episodes in Power Rangers and Ultraman that you can't do in Sentai or Rider. Like, you can have a past villain's relative come back and be a villain for an episode, or even in Ultraman, be a hero for an entire season like Ultraman G, which is an extreme example, I know, but Ultraman Belial was literally a villain for 2 movies, and like a web special, I think, is what Ultra Zero Fight was. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me in the comments. No one probably will. But you know what I'm trying to say, though? It's like, it's crazy that they do these things. They bring back these past characters, past connections, and make them feel important. I feel, anyways. I feel like Thrax is important. Like, when I think of Power, I would say Thrax is a big Power Rangers villain, not like in terms of appearance-wise, but he's big because he's the son of the first 2 main villains. Like, that's huge to me, honestly, and I feel like he should get a better rap. I mentioned Hyperforce before, but they brought him back because they know he's a cool idea. And they kind of fix him, kind of not. They kind of make him, they kind of just depart from his character, but what are you going to do, right? But, I don't know. There's been a lot of talk in the fandom lately about Legacy. My friend Alsace just dropped a really good video on it at the time I'm recording this. So if you want to watch that, you can. Look him up. He's amazing. I love him dearly. But it's just, there was a whole I made this video, this whole point in this video, in part because of that whole Legacy drama. And I think, while I agree, sure, the legacy aspects of all these shows could be lessened to make it easier for new fans. At the same time, I do admit I'm kind of a believer in just Google it. Like, I don't think it's that hard. I Google stuff all the time. I Google a lot of homework stuff if I don't know it. I mean, I'm not saying you should do that, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it'll entice people to go back and watch the older shows. And I get the major point of Alsace's video and the drama was that Dawn Brothers is I'm going completely off topic here, but that we're getting more and more anniversary stuff in Super Sentai, and when it's like, why? We just did the big anniversary, why is it continuing? Why are you still selling these anniversary toys? And it's like, the anniversary toys sell. I mean, Zenkaiger, obviously, Decade. Geo is the highest selling Kamen Rider season, like, because it's an anniversary season, because it's past riders as gimmicks. I'm cracking my fingers, obviously. I don't know. I think like the legacy in these shows is important. Like all the shows. I know I kind of shat on Sentai and Rider for a bit there. Not really, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? Right, okay. Let's try to wrap this up quicker than we can, right? Or quick as possible? I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought. To kind of summarize, right? Operation Overdrive has had a very bad rap in this fandom, like to the point where I feel like we're probably never going to see it in the Lightning Collection. Imagine they announce a Lightning Collection like Defender Vest Adam. That would be great. I would love one of those. Please make one of those, Hasbro. I would buy it. I'm sorry for insulting you all those times if you make a Defender Vest Adam one. I love Defender Vest Adam. It's so cool. Anyways, my point is, like, bad rap. Whether that be on Twitter, YouTube videos, YouTube collabs, histories of, shout out Linkara. He really doesn't like Overdrive. It was a really angry video. To me and maybe a few others, I think there's definitely a few Overdrive fans like myself. But it's just I think it's one of the better seasons. Not like better written, but I think it's a really enjoyable time, and it's better than certainly anything we've had since Samurai. Like, I don't know. I'd rather watch this over Dino Charge or Ninja Steel, Beast Morphers, even Dino Fury to a degree. And I'm sorry, but like, I hate on Beast Morphers a lot in these videos, I've noticed, but like, Beast Morphers, I'm sorry, but I'd rather take an actual anniversary over the season going, we forgot to do the big Dino team up in the dinosaur season. Let's do the Dino team up now in this season, making the entire subject of the back half of the season. Like, what are you doing? Like, sure, this was 2 episodes, but it was a good 2 episodes. And I did say I wanted more setup, but at the same time, it was fine. And Adam is better than Jason. I'm saying it. Adam's better than Jason. But, I don't know. Maybe there's no point to this. Maybe there's no actual point to this video. Maybe I just wanted to make a video for my childhood season because it's probably not going to get anything else from anyone else from this fandom on its special day. So, in summary, thanks Operation Overdrive. And Once a Ranger, Adam, Bridge, Xander, Tori, Kira, almost forgot. Thanks. You really make me feel, I don't know. You make me feel something, like a kid again, I guess. I don't know, it sounds very cheesy to talk like that. I don't know, there was kind of no real point to the video, when I really think about it. This is kind of a wrap-up ramble bit I always do. But, I don't know, maybe this wasn't really a good video. I just wanted to make something for Operation Overdrive, because I think it deserves it, and I wanted to talk about Once a Ranger. But I mean, it's a good episode. It's a really good episode. I love the fights. I love the choreography of most of the fights. I love the Fender Vest Adam. I love the pair-ups. It's kind of cool. I love seeing them in I love seeing the Retro Rangers in the current team Zord, even though they're never, like, shot at the same time. Like, they're never all in the cockpit together. But that's whatever, right? I don't know. I think it's fun. It's a good episode. Good episodes. I watched it like as one big episode, so it felt like one single thing. But it's a good episode, and I think it does well with what it's given to the legacy, I would say, of Power Rangers. And, you know, there's a lot of problems with the legacy now. Like, there's the talk of the reboot, which I kind of don't want to happen, or I'd rather just the show end. And, like, MMPR pandering, which I feel like this might have been the first instance of MMPR pandering, because they bring back Adam, but Adam only came back because Johnny and Bosch wanted to. So, I don't know. It's an interesting episode when you think about it like this, I would say. But, yeah. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. As always, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for all future Digital Jacob uploads, because there definitely will be more. I don't know. I have an idea for a trigger video. Ultraman trigger. Like a 4 kids opening or something. I don't know. Maybe someone will get mad that I'm doing that, because they already did it. I don't know. Maybe someone will get mad because I'm talking. I should stop. Anyways. You know, whoever's percentage of you is subscribed, I'll put it on screen. Maybe I will. We'll see. We know how lazy I am when editing. But, yeah. So, remember, I'm Digital Jacob. And you might think you love Power Rangers, but I know I love Power Rangers, and I'm not fake about it, like some of you. Okay? Okay. Laters. Once a Ranger.